This is the first ever Mazda CX-3. First with a cap F, E with a cap E. Mazda has huge expectations for this car, which is based on its popular and really good Mazda 2 hatch. It expects it to be its second bestseller behind the 3, even outselling the 2 that it's based on. So if you're looking at a Honda HR-V, Ford EcoSport or Holden Trax, this is the Mazda equivalent. Let's take a look at why Mazda thinks it'll sell so well. Two words you'll hear a lot when talking about the CX-3 are Skyactiv and Kodo. Skyactiv is the chassis and the engine technology, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Kodo is this design language that the CX-3's got. Now, it actually started with the CX-5, the big brother to this car, and it's seen on the 6 and the 3 as well. This is a really handsome car. It's got this blacked out C-pillar, the same wheelbase as the 2, and you've got this line that stretches across here nice and crisply up to the bonnet, and quite a long bonnet as well, giving it the kind of mini sports car proportions that we love about the Mazda 2. It sits higher than the 2, of course, so it's got much more ground clearance, and the engine under the bonnet of this one is actually out of the 3. Today we're driving the 2-litre petrol automatic front-wheel drive model. Now the CX-3 comes in 4 trim levels. The base one, the Neo, then a Max, which is expected to be the most popular. It gets a reverse camera standard, the base model doesn't, and this is the next one up, the S Touring. The S Touring gets 18-inch alloys and the LEDs on the outside. Behind the wheel of the CX-3, it's very Mazda 2 in here. The dash, the steering wheel, it's all the same design as the 2, and that's not a bad thing. That means good surface finishes, good textures. It's also got the same dash binnacle as the Mazda 2, which is a very simple, clever and easy design with digital as well as analog gauges. Now the engine, 2-litre, natural aspirated 4-cylinder with 109 kilowatts, which is class leading power. It's not the quietest engine under load, but it's very smooth and it's very responsive, not being turbocharged. There's no lag issues or anything like that. The handling of this car is really good as well. It weighs a little bit more than the 2, 160 kilos roughly, depending on spec, but it doesn't feel heavy around the turns. And even on the 18-inch wheels on this particular version, it soaks up bumps really nicely and it's not crashy at all. So it's really easy to drive. It's nice to be in terms of vibration, harshness and so on. Now, although it is the same wheelbase as a Mazda 2, it's actually a little bit longer at each end. So its turning circle goes up from the 9.4 of the 2 to the 10.6, which funnily enough matches the 3's. So it's basically as manoeuvrable as a Mazda 3 around town. Now, climbing in the back of the CX-3, you'd expect it to maybe be a little cramped because it's based on a 2, but I'd much rather sit here than in a Mazda 2. You've got plenty of headroom. This seat's actually further back than my driving position, so I'm 6 feet and I've got quite a lot of room, quite comfortable, good view out the window, and we've also got these 60-40 split fold rear seats as well. Now the boot of the CX-3 is bigger than a Mazda 2's, but not by much. It's 264 litres, whereas a Mazda 2's is 250. It is a little bit more practical though. As well as this oversized photographer's backpack, there's also a 2-tier floor. The trouble is, once you pull it out, there's nowhere else for it to go. But it does give you extra space. Now combine that with folding the rest of that seat down and you've got 1174 litres, which is more than a Honda HR-V. So is the CX-3 a CX 2.5? That'd be selling it a little bit short. It's not just a downsized 3 or CX-5 or jacked up 2, it's a strong proposition in its own right. It's well made, it looks great, and it has really aggressive pricing at the time of launch. There's also the wide choice, diesel, petrol, as well as all-wheel drive models. It's no wonder Mazda thinks it'll sell so strongly.